Hi, lovelies! My name is Olivia Shadid, and today is part two of how to overcome depression. And today is all about becoming the observer. Tip one is start thinking about your thoughts. Write down your thoughts. Throughout the day, I want you to write down through different times of the day, make a reminder on your phone and then get a journal and write down your thoughts. To be honest, another tip is get a journal because you really need to start writing down your thoughts throughout your day to really see what thoughts you're having, and what thoughts, and really when you're in that, ruminating and dwelling on things, what thoughts you're actually having and writing them down. And that is a major tip to actually see what types of thoughts you're having, because a lot of the times we can have thoughts but we're not really aware of, like, later on the thoughts that we're having or how they can impact us. And after, like, writing those thoughts down throughout the day, go over them and, like, see it from a different perspective and read over them, and then say to yourself, or write down or say to yourself, from 1 to 10, is this you? Is this what you want to be thinking about? 1 to 10, is this true about how you are or how you feel or how what you're doing? Like, 1 to 10, is this true? And that can be beneficial to become aware and observe like this. And then beside it, after you do the rating, then write some helpful thoughts down, write some compassionate thoughts down, some kind thoughts. If you said, oh, I had a rubbish day, say, tomorrow is going to be better, I'm going to do better, I'm going to feel better. Just start, like, trying to write down helpful thoughts towards it, or like solving an issue, like writing some solutions down. So that's a very useful tip to really consider doing as well. And you can also do this another time as well, where you're, like, just having time to write, having a specific time to write, and you're writing about an event and you want to really go into it and write about, okay, what the event was like for you, how you were feeling, what thoughts you were having with the event, what problems were you facing, what behaviors or situations did you have during or after, what belief systems could you have triggered or developed. And you can work on events that have affected you as well in that way as well, and really start observing and identifying what areas that are affecting your mental health are. Tip two is mindfulness and meditation. I'm sure you've heard it a lot, meditation, everywhere, but it is such a useful tip. Even meditation music, there's lots of hypnosis music online, and like people who guided hypnosis as well. You can do group meditations, you can go to group meditation outside if you want, or online. I'm sure there's some group meditations online. You can listen to sound therapy, like, forgot what they're called, but like the beats, that it can be very good for you as well. Like, painting can be meditative, writing can be meditative, walking can be meditative. What do you like and feel relaxed and rested and aligned and centered doing? And then do that. If you don't like just sitting there, and it's about really finding what works for you as well, but it's really getting your mind in a more relaxed state, where your threat response of, or your flight and fight response of, oh, I'm not protected, I'm not safe, I need to have my emotions on alert and detect, and it kind of calms that down and turns that down a bit. So it's really good to meditate. And when it comes to mindfulness, it is kind of connected to also meditation as well, because it's about becoming present. It's about becoming aware of your surroundings, becoming present, becoming aware within, and like what's going on within you and what's going on like outside of you, like becoming present. How does my hand feel? How does my fingers and my nails feel? How how does my feet feel? What's around me? And just really focus on the present moment and really becoming aware of the present moment and what's going on around you, and realizing in this present moment that everything is okay. That's really helped me. Is like when I'm going through a situation, I have to kind of keep bringing myself back into the present moment, be like, no, it's over now. I'm in this present moment and I'm okay. And I kind of focus on all my senses, like what am I smelling, what am I hearing, what am I feeling, what am I seeing, and like really in touch as well, and like it's really useful to really become present, because it just takes you out of all the chaos of what was going on and brings you back into center and calm and relaxed, and not in the states or events that have happened that have caused you to feel emotional or painful. So it's such a useful tip to do as well. I always do this. I do this whenever I'm like stressed or about something. I try and keep on like bring myself back and know everything's okay in this moment. It's all okay. It's all okay. I really try and focus on being present with myself. Especially when I was growing up, I was always too focused in the future as well, and it was more about having to bring myself back into the present. And I know that can be hard when you're going through or you're in situations that you don't want to really be present in. But even if you just go away somewhere, step outside and just be present with yourself and realize in this moment you're okay, and that can really help. Tool 3: write a letter to yourself. Now you can actually do this in a lot of different ways. So you can write a letter to yourself as you are now, but that won't necessarily be as helpful, but it kind of give you a perspective of how you're doing. But the most beneficial way to do it is write a letter to yourself from the compassionate side of yourself. Really tap into what compassion is and ask your body, how does it feel to feel compassionate? And how does it feel to be kind? And really tap into that kind of part of yourself and tap in, because you have it. Even if you don't feel like you have it, you have it. So really tap into that part of yourself and just ask yourself, what would I want to say to myself as this compassionate person? And write a letter to yourself. And then I want you to read it back. Or you can also write a letter to your future self. So whenever you feel like you need a letter, to write it and keep it for the time you need it. That can be a coping strategy for the times that you have setbacks and disappointments, is having that letter on standby, so when you read it you feel a bit better. It's a good technique as well. You can also write a forgiveness letter to yourself. If you've been hard on yourself, if you've been critical on yourself, if you have been unkind to yourself, if you've been harming yourself, if you've been abusive to yourself, if you've been bullying yourself, if you've been attacking yourself, like blaming yourself, like write a letter to yourself and forgive yourself. Like say how you feel about yourself and be compassionate in the letter and say, I forgive you. And if you're not there yet, then just say, I'm working on forgiving you. It's about like working on it and letting it all out in the letter. And then it's also, you can do this a letter to someone else also. I've done this plenty of the times when I've had like suppressed anger, for example, and I've written a letter to really get that suppressed anger out of me and really forgiven myself and I guess other people for things. And then just written out everything I had to say, and then at the end say, I like, and see it from kind of almost their perspective and what they were going through, and be compassionate to that. And then, which can be hard for you in that capacity, so you like just take it easy on yourself. You don't have to get it to that level, but be willing to like think about saying, I want to work on forgiving you, or I have forgiven you, or after you've said all that you needed to say, though, you know what I mean? And like you can also write when the forgiveness ones, whether to yourself or to other people, is you can say what you've learned from the experience, you've learned from them, what you've learned from yourself, from all of what you've said. So that's a useful tool as well. Step 4, become an alien for a day. So act as if you literally don't know anything. Like you're experience everything for the first time, and really become the observer and really see, okay, how does food taste like, and really like experience it as if you're brand new to the world and like you don't know anything, and experience life that way. And it kind of gives you a whole new perspective on things, and it kind of also shows you a bit of like gratitude as well with what your experience is as well. It gives you that observer perspective of really experience everything for the first time. Tip 5 is grounding and spending some time alone. So firstly, grounding is so important. So even if you just go outside, put your feet in some grass, put your feet in some sand, hug a tree, can be very grounding. You can also imagine yourself, close your eyes and imagine going down into the earth, pulling the energy up and putting all the energy up into your body and up to your skull. Or you can imagine like almost a tail from your end of your spine going down to the earth and attaching to it and feeling grounded in that way as well. There's a lot of different techniques that you can also look online if you don't like the ones I've mentioned, but it's also a good way and useful when it comes to feeling and what you're thinking, because it keeps you kind of ground in a state of groundedness and not so flustered. And like you can do this throughout the day. You can also spend some time alone is useful as well, because, and I know it's hard to do, but everyone can find a couple of minutes out of their day to like somehow just have a few minutes of their of your own, because it's so important to really connect with yourself and do these exercises that I've mentioned, like writing and all of that, because it's so important to do. Tip 6 is really start appreciating. I know it doesn't feel like you can appreciate anything right now. I understand, I know, but there is always something to be grateful for. So I want you to really, really try and look at what gives you gratitude. And at the end of the day, another day of life is very special. The fact that you're still here, the fact that you were chosen out of millions upon millions of souls to be down here. So be grateful for that, and be grateful for food, because not everyone has enough food. Be grateful for shelter. Be grateful for a place to sit. Be grateful for the table next to you. Be grateful for what you're watching me on right now. Like anything that you can think of, there's so many things to be grateful for. And I know it's hard when you're in the state of mind that you are, but it's so important to do. And it's also what helps you not only get into a better vibration, but it also helps you attract more of what you want rather than what you don't want. And it's also being grateful for other people as well, the people in your life or the people that you have had in the past in your life. Just being grateful for your spiritual team, so important to do, and it can really make you feel better as well. So really try and start being grateful, being a bit more grateful, and it can really help. And make it like literally a daily routine, first thing in the morning or last thing at night or throughout the day. Throughout the day, sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm so grateful like for this. Or I do it in the morning, say thank you God for another day. So really focus on that. Number 7. Number 7 is one that really helped me when I was going through something, when I was really going through a wave of mental health issues, which was closing my eyes and imagining myself in a safe place. and I literally create it. So I create the safe place that I'm in. So you can have it at the beach, at a like a desert island. You can have it at a, you know, a forest or a garden or a waterfall, anywhere you like. You can imagine that place. If you want someone there, you can imagine someone there. If you don't, you just want to be in that place on your own. You know, whenever you're stressed and whenever you're start thinking about things and ruminating and dwelling over things or get anxiety, just close your eyes and go back into that safe place and create it any way you want. Have a house, have a garden, have the sea and have like tables, or have like a bed where the sea is, or whatever, or a waterfall and like a house next to the waterfall or whatever, and just make it your own. And every single time you get into that stage and like really know how it smells, know how it feels, and like how it looks, and you know, really tap into all the senses and be there for like at least a couple of minutes. And whenever you're not feeling great, and just that can be such a nice way to like really center yourself back in and just relax. Maybe not so much observing, but really just relaxing and having a bit of more of a nice time, and that can really help as well. So that's going to be it for this episode. I will be going into, in the next couple of episodes, belief system, and there is going to be also about really detoxifying, and that's gonna might be a couple of videos or one. I haven't decided yet, so be looking forward to that, because it's really about cleansing yourself as well, and we're going to be talking about cleansing yourself in the next video as well. So really stay tuned for that, because you're really going to look forward to learning how to shift those beliefs, and other things will be discussed as well. I have so many excited videos coming up that can really help you, and I'm really like so excited to share them with you, because I know they can help you. So please subscribe and click that notification bell, and share this with anyone you think that might get some help out of it. And please like the video if you enjoyed it, and write some comments down if you have any feelings towards what I said, or you feel like this has helped you at all. Please write down below, or any suggestions for any other videos, because I really want to help you guys. And again, you are not alone, and so much love to you all. Have a great day. Mwah.